I'm Kate Agraviador, a BSN student from Section A31. I'm going to explain or defend my exercise prescription of the cardiovascular conditioning and the muscular resistance training. For the first workout plan, using the F.I.T.T format is the cardiovascular conditioning prescription. So as you can see on the exercise prescription or the F.I.T.T format, the date of my first day training, which is Monday, September 4. And for the initial prescription or number of progression, it will take up to 3 times a week. We can see components which are the frequency, intensity, time, and the type of exercise. And that includes the resting heart rate reserve, target heart rate, HR at high interval, HR at low interval, and the board rate of perceived exertion. And for the time, that includes the warm-ups, stimulus, cool down, and the number of cycles. My target for frequency, it's 3 times a week, and I choose moderate on the intensity of my exercise. To know my resting heart, I count my heartbeats for like 60 seconds or 1 minute, and that got me 85 beats per minute. And for the heart rate reserve, the intensity of my exercise is moderate, right? Which is 60 to 76%, and I only choose 74% for my heart rate reserve because I think my cardiovascular exercise is kind of hard, but it's not that intense like 76%. So I just lower it for like 2%, and that is why I choose 74%. For the target heart rate, there's actually a formula, and 220 is a given number already in the equation. Subtracted to my age, which is 22, and next is 85, which is the heartbeats per minute. That is where you put it. And next, how do I get 0.74? It is because you have to make your heart rate reserve into a decimal number. So I moved 2 places and that I got 0.74. And then add again my resting heart rate, which is 85 beats per minute, and all in all, the total is 168. And the sum for my target heart rate is also my heart rate at high interval. And to get the heart rate at low interval, there's also a given formula, is kind of the same from the target heart rate on how to get it. But the only difference is that my heart rate reserve, or the decimal number, which is the 0.74, you just have to divide it by 2, and that is why I 0.37. So the total for my heart rate at low interval is 126 beats per minute. For board rate of perceived exertion, I think I have to rate it at 4 because the pain that I received or felt at that time while exercising or cardiovascular exercise, it did give me pain. It's somewhat hard for me, but it's manageable and I'm having fun throughout the exercise. Next will be the time. Before I say the total time of the whole exercise, let's move on to the warm-up first. I did a warm-up stretch, which is the Frankenstein for like 3 minutes, and side lunges for 2 minutes, and an active T-spine for 1 minute, and that total for 5 minutes. For the stimulus, it is 23 minutes. Our teacher actually instructed us to do only one exercise for this, but as an active person myself, I like to take on challenges. So there are actually 4 types of exercises that I did for the whole 23 minutes. And it is jumping oblique twist, jumping jacks, mountain climber, and ski hops. And all of those exercises I did for like 4 cycles. Next is the muscular resistance training prescription. The first day of my training is Tuesday, which is September 5. Initial prescription or number of progression will only took 2 times a week. I am 22 years old, and the goal for this training is to increase my strength, and the volume or intensity of this exercise will be also moderate. And I will only do this exercise training for like 2 times a week. And for the whole session, the duration for this muscular system training will be or takes up to 30 minutes, including the warm up and the cool down. So the first thing to do in muscular training would also be the warm up stretch. And there's 3 exercises that I did, namely Frankenstein, side lunges, and the active T-spine, which I equally did the time for like 1 minute each warm up, 2 sets, and 5 repetitions. There are 7 exercises that I did, namely squats, supermans, tricep dips, cross crunches, heel touch, and donkey kicks, and rise pile. For squats, I did a 4 sets and a 5 repetitions, and then the resting time for 3 minutes because it is moderate. I put 85% of or the load, and for the RPE it would be 5 for me because it's not like I do squats every day, so just for squatting alone it's kind of hard for me. Supermans, I did 3 sets and 5 repetitions, and then the rest for 3 minutes again. And for its load, it will be 80% 1 RM. And for the RP, I would say it is only at 3, and it's moderate. Tricep dips, I did a set of 2 and 5 repetitions, and the resting time again is like 3 minutes, and then the load for it is 80% 1 RM and a 7 for RPE because it's very hard. The tricep dips is very hard to do, but I still manage to do it. And the cross crunches, I did 3 sets in and a 5 repetitions. Then the resting time for it is also 3 minutes, and the load it's 80% 1 RM for the, and RP is for which is somewhat hard, so it's kind of 4. Next is the heel touch, 3 sets and 3 repetitions, 3 minutes for the resting time, and a 75% for the load, 4 for RPE, and it is somewhat hard also. And I did 4 sets of donkey kicks and the 5 repetitions, rest for 3 minutes, and the load for it is 80% 1 RM, and 3 because it's moderate for me. A few sets, like 3 sets of rise and pile, and a 4 repetitions. The resting time is 3 minutes, and the load for it is 75% 1 RM, and I will say it's only 4 for the RP. It is also somewhat hard for me. And for the cool down stretch, I did 3 of them, which is the arm rotation, shoulder stretch, and the cobra pose. I also equally did the time for the duration of 1 minute, 3 sets of the cool down stretch, and 5 repetitions each. So All in all, again, the session for the muscular resistance training is 30 minutes, including warm up and cool down.